Hello, Max here, and it's almost as if Blizzard knew I spent yesterday making a video. Literally moments after my Blue Watch was uploaded, the patch went live in Asia. It is now live in all regions, even EU, where we had to put up with right-click and quick-scope Widow until the wee hours of this morning. Seriously, Blizzard, I sometimes feel like we're the bastard child of a relationship you'd like to pretend never happened. We just want to be loved like your other children, Asia and NA. Salt aside, these changes are stronger than a rocket hammer to the face of a newborn baby. The first swing of the rocket nerf hammer comes crashing down on the cowboy hat and head of Jesse McCree, hitting him so hard that the damage of fan the hammer has been reduced by almost half, from 70 damage a shot down to 45. This is absolutely huge and a much bigger nerf than I was expecting. All 6 shots from a fan will now only do 270 damage compared to the 420 it used to do. In order to somehow balance things out, they tried to make it up to Jesse by bringing the recovery time back down to 0.3 seconds from 0.75 seconds. It's like Team 4 stole McCree's candy, and to make it up to him they gave him the powdered sugar from the bottom of the bag. I know McCree deserved it, but this is brutal. I may have to retract my previous statement about McCree continuing to see competitive play. If you are still going to play McCree, there are some useful things to know. If you land the headshots, the left click is now much higher damage per second. However, if you're blasting into a barrier or shield, the right click is better. McCree should still be able to deal with Tracer and Genji with relative ease. Tracer can still, as ever, be stunned and left clicked in the head, and you should be able to flash fan Genji. It is now impossible to kill Reaper in the stun if he has Wraith form available, and if Reaper survives, so does Mei. McCree will do a maximum of 205 damage before the stun ends. That's 25 damage from the flashbang and 180 from 4 shots of fan the hammer. The last 2 shots are fired after the stun ends, so can be avoided with abilities. This is hugely significant. Genji will of course die to the 205 damage, but if he has a Symmetra shield, Genji will be able to deflect 2 shots back at McCree and easily finish him off with a right-click swift strike. All in all, despite being heavy-handed, I think this nerf is good. It opens up a lot more options, and McCree can still flash, fan, roll, fan 2 out of the 5 tanks. Zarya, Roadhog and D.Va should all be able to survive it, leaving solid counterplay options. I am a little concerned that too much power has been removed and that Genji will be much harder for McCree to deal with. Flashbang and instantly fan the hammer in a custom game is one thing, but getting it done quickly in a game situation is much harder. And of course, if the Genji has any kind of armor or shields, I think Genji has the advantage instead. Before anyone claims Genji is already strong against McCree, a good McCree will flashbang above or to the side of Genji so the grenade cannot be reflected. On the backswing with a little less power, the rocket nerf hammer crashed through Widowmaker. Sadly, it didn't crush her hopes, dreams and viability. Joking aside, I really like where they have gone with this. These changes keep a lot of her power while addressing so many issues. The base damage of her scoped shots reduced to 12 from 15. This means 100% charge deals 120 damage for a body shot. Tracer and Zenyatta rejoice. Both heroes along with unmech'd D.Va have the smallest head hitbox in the game. It will now be so much harder, although not impossible, for a Widowmaker to one-shot these guys. Zenyatta's lack of mobility will still make him an easy target, but this is a big step towards making him more playable. Headshot damage multiplier increased from 2 to 2.5. Boo! Although this does make sense, keep the reward for landing those incredibly difficult headshots. This means her critical damage remains the same, 300 for 100% charge, and she still only needs 67% charge to kill a 200 health target. I would have a huge problem with this if it wasn't for the next change. Players must now wait for the unscoping animation to completely finish before scoping. This is huge. It is almost as huge as Zenyatta's balls as he struts around the game taunting Widow's new body shot damage. A big part of what balances a sniper is they have restricted field of view while staring down the sight. When Widow could unscope for a fraction of a second to acquire a new target, then zoom and fire at 67% charge, it meant heroes like Genji and Tracer, heroes that I feel by design should be stronger against Widow, would struggle to get close to her. This change means Widow will need to spend more time looking through her sights where the low FOV has a negative impact. Finally, for Widow, her ultimate cost has been increased to 10%. I know a lot of people find her ult frustrating to play against, and I think this is a token change to appease those who have complained. I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good ability poking fun at the FPS genre, and it is no more powerful than an ult that can wipe an entire team. It can also be played around. Listen out for the "No one can hide from my sights" audio cue in French.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
If anything, I think the volume of this could be increased so the enemy are more aware when it is active. There is a concern the changes to both Widow and McCree will further increase Winston's power, as McCree is no longer able to shred a Winston bubble with his full combo, and Widow's lack of quickscoping will make the monkey scientist stronger still against her. Without hero limit, double Winston could run rampant in competitive mode, but we'll have to wait and see what direction competitive mode will go. Now you can't swing a rocket nerf hammer and not expect some collateral damage. Poor old Mercy. There was a bug that allowed her to charge her ultimate by damage boosting allies that were attacking barriers or ice walls. Obviously this was not working as intended and should be fixed. Mercy's ultimate charges stupidly fast already, she doesn't need exploits to make it charge any faster. And lastly in this video, the high bandwidth option for custom games has been improved. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, this would crash and reset your server instance. I strongly encourage anyone who can play games with their friends to use this feature and feed back to Blizzard. A lot of you are saying a refresh rate of 60 is still not high enough for truly competitive FPS, as Counter-Strike Pro games and leagues are played at 120. This seems reasonable, but Blizzard are only going to listen if we use what they have provided and feed back. We are currently waiting on our Twitch partner channel to come through, and when it does we'll start streaming and likely do some subscriber games. We will of course use the high bandwidth feature, so don't worry if you don't have 11 friends. We're closing on 40,000 friends in our community, so I'm sure we can get a game at some point. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon.